Well, I'm starting a new page of my communications. I've got too much to say to do so in my blog because I can't seem to finish my whole big projects, and I don't have time to proofread. And I've been getting all this criticism for typographical errors, things like that. So that's the first thing. Secondly, for some reason, I'm getting much more positive response when I appear on YouTube, which to me I find very confusing, but I guess I'll go with that. I prefer blogging because I can set up more complex ideas and then massage them and explain it in various ways without stopping my continuity. So, what's happened this week that has caused everybody to panic, and particularly me? Well, first off, I've about had it with everything going on here. If we're up to me, I'd probably immigrate somewhere, France or Italy, but that's out of the question. Also, my health has been failing, so I haven't been able to travel as much. And what I'm going to do now is try to finish up all my projects as quickly as I can so that the public gets the benefit of what I was trying to do. This is going to be a series of my reflections on a law practice in Boulder, Colorado over a 45-year period of time. Some of the changes I've seen, some of the changes that I haven't seen, and we'll talk a little bit about jurisdictional or jurisprudential changes. One thing that I'm trying to establish with some of my writings is the fact that we no longer have a common law system. So I'll delve into the common law system and do an analysis of what I've observed over the years. Another interesting thing is the militarization of police. I have many friends my age that were police. I can't remember the last time that I was at a policeman's retirement party, but it's been at least 20 years ago. Every policeman I know took pride in not having fallen his gun his whole career. They were level-headed. They really believed in what they were doing. They didn't bully. They weren't bullies. They were just out there doing their job and trying to be effective. So a lot of us would talk it to each other at various bars and down in the courthouse basement where we shared cups of coffee. And it was fairly tight-knit community of both prosecutors and defense lawyers. And there wasn't nearly the animosity and adversity that I'm seeing today. What I'm seeing today is, in my view, a lot of kids in the legal system playing at being lawyers with no idea of what the hell they're doing. And consequently, we have an increase in prisons, increase in population of prisons also, of course, going from 300,000 or 300,000 in approximately 1960 to almost 4 million today. That's a lot of people. But to do that, there has to be changes. There has to have been changes. Now, many of you, excuse me a second here. My bird was distracting me. Sorry. Many of you who have followed my career and some of my writings over the years have questioned some of the backgrounds, some of the operations I've been in, and a lot of other things. Years ago, I was dubbed a conspiracy theorist. I can guarantee you that I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I can guarantee you that there's no conspiracies. I have seen things over a time period of almost 50 years that are the same with different players. For instance, when I first discovered heroin being packed with heroin being packed in corpses in South Vietnam, I knew most of the players there and the ones that were involved. Then it went from there to cocaine in Colombia, etc. The government and its agencies, particularly the spooks, were up to their necks in this. But it wasn't a conspiracy. It was the way their outfits were functioning. And that is kind of scary to me. They don't go and plot to do this and plot to do that. It means that it's a way of doing things and it just perpetuates itself. So it's hard to get a handle on that. It was hard for me. The last 10, 15 years of my career, I got to the point where I couldn't distinguish between the good guys and the bad guys because a good percentage of my clients were government operatives, the CIA and various other agencies. So how do you differentiate? It's quite a problem. And it leaves me confused. So we'll carry on with this. If you people like the subject matter and like what we're doing, please communicate with me somehow and encourage me and I'll keep it up. What I thought I would do to begin with is do a history of Boulder, Colorado in the 60s and my remembrances of then. That's when it was real colorful. There was a lot of new music coming out on the scene. Starting with the Johnson administration. Actually, I'll start with the Kennedy administration and go from there through the assassination to Lyndon Johnson and what changed. When Nixon got in, many of us knew what he was going to try to do, and we had various conventions trying to stop it. He funded the LEAA, for instance, and with the stroke of a pen, criminalized what heretofore had been a medical problem. And with impounded funds from congressional appointments, congressional appropriations, he set up a brand new agency called Law Enforcement Assistance Agency, or LEAA. And that brand new agency started treating drug abuse, as a legal problem rather than a medical problem. Now, 40 years later, Ehrlichman, who was one of the Nixon lawyers, admitted that the whole thing was a scam in order to increase the jurisdiction of the Justice Department so that they could prosecute hippies and draft dodgers and people such as that, and also go after minorities. It wasn't the fact that they were that adamantly opposed to drugs. It's because they knew demographically who were taking the drugs and they wanted to stop them and disrupt them. They wanted to disrupt movement politics. And they pretty much succeeded. So we'll continue from there. Thank you for watching. Bye.